Good evening, everyone, and welcome to SRW TV once again for Round 8 of the SRW League V8 Supercars Super 1 Series, brought to you by DSL Welding. I am Dano, and with me tonight on comms again is Cowie, your average sim racer, with Shibby, as always, bringing us the lovely camera angles tonight here at Snetterton. Final time here at Snetterton this week, Cowie. It's been a certainly action-packed week. The Super Sprint format tonight as well. How do you think it's going to go, mate?
These boys were treating that enduro round last week at Le Mans like a sprint, so I'm expecting more of the same, buddy. It was great action last week, and we're going to get 3 times the action this week.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely insane. If we've seen anything from the Porsche Cup that we saw on Thursday, it is absolute chaos out on track when you drive a boat around the track. This is one of the tracks that is more suited to the lighter framed cars. So, you know, your prototypes of the Radicals and the F3s, which we ran on the past 2 Tuesdays. But for the Porsche Cup and the supercars, they're not really meant for these type of tracks with these type of turns with, you know, not as many ups and downs and that type of thing. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys manage the tires and everything. I suppose you don't really need to in a super sprint format, but it's going to be interesting to see how they maneuver the track in these massive V8 supercars.
Yeah, look, I'd normally say that the one, not redeeming quality of the V8s, because I love them, I can't say that, but the one quality that does sort of stand the V8s away from some other cars is they tend to handle the curbs pretty good. But the problem is, around Snetterton here, some of those sausage curbs are pretty damn big, and even a supercar is going to get flipped up if you try and take them too aggressively.
Yeah, I know that some of these turns you have to stay off the curbs, but I wonder if these supercars will actually be able to attack those curbs, and then, you know, maybe we might have some different, or we're definitely going to have some different lap times, but we'll see who can attack them within the limits of those flipping of cars.
That's right, and as we've sort of talked about driving the V8s before, they're very much about setting up how that shift of weight in the car is going to work for you. So when you've got sort of tight chicanes and that, you're really trying to get the car to sort of shift that weight early on and then settle so that you can go through the second part of the corner. And again, a place like Snetterton, that does show up. I know we did a race here for the officials in the last season, might have been the one before. But I know it's been fairly recent, so I have done a few laps around here in the V8s, and again, that seems to be the key with these cars. It's all about controlling that momentum, that shift of weight, and using it to your advantage. And if you do it right, then you're one of the fast guys.
Yeah, it seems like the momentum in specifically the V8 supercars is something that you really want to maintain. There's not many cars, I think, on iRacing where momentum through just a whole circuit is so important than these ones. Like in an F3 car, you can sort of lose your momentum and still be able to get back into a groove, whereas I think it's a little bit harder with the V8 supercars.
Oh, look, it is. And, you know, again, it's sort of a car, you got to brake a bit earlier than you do in a lot of other cars. You tend to carry and trail your brake deeper into the corner just to pull it up every ounce. And then it's sort of also one of those cars that you'll find that the normal rule of when you're not on the brake, you're on the accelerator, doesn't always apply to these things. Sometimes you've got to let them coast through the corner just to keep that speed up through your mid corner, and also not to, you know, overly rotate the rear tyres and lose it on the exit. And that is one of the things that makes these such a great car to watch and such a great car to drive, or at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we definitely need in the upcoming off-season to organise a broadcast team race where we all take cars and we get some of the drivers from this season to do some commentary for us. What do you think?
Well, that's what the Saturday night mayhem is all about, buddy. You know, that's when us broadcasters get on and try to take each other out.
I'm saying it's a proper race. It's a proper race, not a mayhem race, and it's just the broadcast team. It's not. There's no other drivers in it from the series.
It'd get too personal, buddy. You know, we'll be taking each other out and it'll turn into a mayhem night. You know, that's what happens. We're looking forward to a really good night of racing here. So as we said before, it's the super sprint race format. 3 20-minute races. We've got no random safety cars will be called. It's our manual safety car, as always, comes to us from the promo department for all your promo needs. There's no fuel cap in any of these races, so you set your level. Though I can't see the guys wanting to put much more in than they need to. A little bit of action there from Harry, and I think that was Matty Stewart as well. And again, there's not going to be any compulsory pit stops, so we'll see what happens out there, how aggressive these guys go. And race 3, as always, reverse grid, buddy, so that just spices it up right to finish the night.
Oh, that reverse grid always provides the action. I think we had Mr. Dean Sinkovich on pole position on Thursday in the Porsche Cups because he finished 10th. That was an absolute... He was leading a pack away for a good couple of laps. It was so awesome to see. So, the likes of Matt Stewart as well, he can really stick around that top 10, but it's not for lack of pace. So if Matt, a driver like Matt or Scotty Barton or something like that, if one of those drivers ends up being on pole in the feature race, we could have a real race on our hands.
Oh, look, there is, the guys that are mid-pack around here, it's not that they're slow, it's just we've seen that the top 2 or 3 runners have just had that extra ounce of pace. But, put them back in some traffic, and although they have shown us their great skills in passing all through this season, it still gives those mid-pack guys a chance to show their worth. And, I tell you, when I'm out in front, I'm going to make my car as wide as I can. So, these guys have got the same mentality. They want the W just as much as the guys that regularly get it, if not more.
Well, I think as well, with Snetterton being actually quite a small track, you don't need to make your car as wide as possible. You just need to hold the... maybe move your car just a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, get the car into a better position so you can't let those guys pass. And I think that's what makes it such good racing, is because you have to be so brave under brakes and into the corners and making moves. You have to really commit to each of them, as we're watching Matty Scholes go around the circuit through Hamilton corner.
And as I say, it's all about exit, buddy. In these cars, the guy that gets on the gas the quickest and the hardest without wheel spin tends to, win by the end of the next corner. So, that's the key. But the point is, it's a fine line between getting it right and getting it wrong. And if you get it wrong, as we've seen from various guys getting it wrong on the start of these races, a wheel spin off the line at the start of a race can cost you 10 positions.
Yeah, it can cost you a couple of positions. Could also, depending if you spin to the left or the right and which side of the track you're on, could cost you other people's races as well, which could then, tie along with some incidents from race control or something like that. Which we don't like to wish it on anyone.
We want to see action, and we love seeing the guys door banging and that, getting in close. Obviously, we don't want to see these incidents happen, but it is racing, and sometimes when you're racing hard and neither person wants to give up the corner, that can be a recipe for disaster. But it will be interesting because look, we've got Blake Delaney is 180 points clear of Alex Court in the championship at the moment. So Blake's found himself near the front of the last few races, and it'll be interesting to see if he's prepared to, make a move for first position if he's behind the pack, and or is going to be keen to just keep his nice championship lead. Again, we've got Alan Dawson is up into 3rd in the championship now. Alan's just had a pretty solid season so far. And, and then you've got the likes of guys like Michael Whiting, who has fallen right down from 3rd. I think he's in 7th in the championship now because he had connection issues last week and, ended up missing out on the Enduro altogether, buddy, And
it was triple points, so that's all it takes is one miss of a week.
That's
and,
right. So,
you know, it can ruin it. So,
and we'll see if Michael's still got his eye on the championship, or is just going to go, stop it, I'm going for the race, the W. So, you know, you're going to see that excitement. There's going to be guys that, you know, maybe aren't in the championship hunt anymore, find themselves in an opportunity to grab the bull by the horns and take this race and make it their own. And, you know, that's what's going to give us our excitement tonight, buddy, a mix of that.
yeah, it certainly will be. Last I checked, we had Mr. Blake Delaney and Michael Whiting up in P1 and P2 at Fishing Motorsports 1-2. So, good
Both
laps
the boys
from
in the
them. They've clearly
48-3s.
they've clearly been doing the practice.
I think there's only 14 thousandths of a second separating them. So it's pretty close up there.
Oh, it's usually very close for that pole position. I'm just getting my overlays back up. They're just loading at the moment. They'll just be...
Well, we're just on having a look at Harry Dodds here and the performance sim racing machine. Actually, I missed out on the newest member of that team was going to be racing with Tyson today in the race for Damo, but we've had some guys with internet issues and they've had to postpone the race, which is unfortunate. But that will be coming up pretty soon.
You didn't accept the offer from...
Yeah, Tyson's been bugging me for about a year, buddy, so I finally caved in. But we're looking to see if he can, you know, help me with my driving and maybe get me somewhere near the pace of these boys, you know?
Yeah, I reckon those boys will most definitely be able to do that. Tyson's got some awesome pace. Harry's pretty consistent as well in his driving. I'm sure you'll be winning some radical races sooner rather than later, Cowie.
Oh, look, don't count all the chickens before they hatch, buddy, you know. You know, again, it's more about, I'm an amateur of this for sure,
Don't
you know.
sell yourself short,
I've never...
Cowie.
Well, yeah, but I haven't been a race car driver. I haven't done it for real. It's all been virtual for me. I think the closest I've been would have been in the go-karts myself, or, you know, going down to Kingston Park Raceway, all those sort of places for a go-kart run. You know, and then, yeah, like the rest of us here, you know, I found a passion for sim racing and dumped all my money into it. So I've got good gear now. Got good gear now. I can't blame that. So, you know, maybe I should start, you know, putting a bit more effort in and see if I can, you know, I'll find a bit of pace and join these boys.
Oh, I'm sure you will, Cowie. You've certainly got it in you. I've seen some good performances the last couple of weeks in the Radicals. If you guys haven't been watching the rest of our series, we do have the Radicals and Formula 3s on Tuesdays. We do those running opposite weeks, and then we have the Porsche Cups on Thursdays, which Cowie has been joining us for, but has since...
yeah, it's one of those hard nights for me.
Come up.
Yeah, daylight savings is going to end soon, so it'll make it even harder for me to do those nights, buddy. But so remember, we've also got the big announcement, buddy. They've just announced, SRW is proud to announce that registration is now open for the first DSL Welding V8 Supercar Enduro Series. So go to simracingworld.com.au if you want to get involved. Click on the Endurance Championship links there and that'll take you through. It's going to be a 3-round series starting in April at Twin Rings Motegi. Second race is at Sebring and we finish in October at Mount Panorama, of course. They're 2-day events, 6-hour race on the Sunday. It'll be teams of 2 to 3 drivers, and as we said before, 50% of all registrations will go to the Black Dog Institute, and that's our way of sort of supporting, you know, mental health and the great thing that the guys with the Black Dog Institute are doing.
Yeah, it's an awesome cause. Make sure you guys go register because it's going to be an awesome endurance series. 6 hours, 6-hour races with teams of 2 to 3 drivers. We've got 3 rounds of that in our off season, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more action to come in those races. It's going to be a hell of a weekend, is how we're going to be running it. So it's going to be really cool.
Look, it's the only the first of the announcements that SRW are bringing forward. So, you know, us at SRW TV are all looking forward to it. I'm just going to make my decision if I want to keep talking about the V8 or driver. You know, to see if I want to go in that enduro. But I think you and I are forming a pretty good team here in the commentary, buddy. So I'd say I'm probably going to have to talk about it.
It's a 6-hour endurance. I think we're going to be doing 3-hour stints with Toddy and somebody else. Maybe Stefan, if he's not racing.
It's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. And again, enduros are great fun if you haven't got involved in those team events. They can be quite good. It can be daunting.
Oh, they're
at times.
awesome.
It can be daunting because you are worried about ruining it for your partner. But I'll tell you from experience, that'll happen. I've already done it several times, and once you've done it, then you don't really worry about wrecking it again because if you do it, you know.
I think it took me, 2 endurance, like big endurance races before I had calmed down. I suppose when I say big endurance, I mean like 24-hour, 12-hour type endurance races. I think six. I came.
As it is the biggest one there is, buddy, and that's only like a 6-7 hour race.
Oh no, I mean.
Remember who you're talking to here. This is
sorry, I'm talking about iRacing. I'm talking about just iRacing in general.
Yeah.
I think Petit Le Mans was where I really sort of got in my own zone and was like, nah, it's fine. It's just a normal race. It just happens to be 10 hours. And, you know, me and my team, we won that by 8 laps. And I mention that as often as I can because it's one of my favorite memories on iRacing.
Well, buddy, we've only got 2 hours. 2 minutes of quali left, or under 2 minutes of quali. So we better get talking about the action here. Michael Whiting has pipped Blake Delaney for the moment. He's found another 10th or so. He's done a 148.234. That's got him in provisional pole. Had a Blake Delaney in second and Alex Court in third. Paul Warwick, Hayden Norris, Bruce Tannock, Matty Scholes, Alec McManus and Scott Barton bringing, I missed Dylan Thomas 10th as well. So It's looking pretty hot. And if you look at all of those times those boys, you know,
Bruce Tannock just done the same time as Paul Warwick.
No, it's 100.
Is it
difference, is it? No. No, you're right. Didn't know.
Seems to be the exact same on our
the same, down to the 1,000th. Yep, down to the 1,000th.
So, a very rare sight to see on a racetrack. We see Bruce now going back out. He's going to go once again. Now, Alex Court has got 3 tenths to find in his lap. Only 2 if he wants to catch up to, or 2.5 if he wants to get up to Blake Delaney. But, you know, we've seen Alex do some incredible race starts, so I'm sure he won't be complaining too much with P3. As,
I think he had a shocker. He had a shocker last week, Alex. He had plenty of wheel spin off the line last week that hurt him, but he did make a decent recovery. Or was it? That was Alex last week, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was.
There's a few of them. I think the endurance can be a bit daunting, so some of them maybe have a bit of an off start.
As we've said before, these cars, you know, it's a fine line between, getting them off the line fast and, you know, you push that tiny little bit too hard and they just bog down on you.
Yeah, it certainly can. As I believe that is the end of our qualifying session, and pretty quick.
All right, buddy, it's looking good. So we might try and bring up the... Sorry. I'll just mute the boys. So race control has just given out some instructions to the guys, but let's read the grid. So pole position for the first of our sprint races, Michael Whiting with Fishy Motorsports. Next to him, Blake Delaney, his teammate. Less than a... What was that? 0.09 of a second separating the two of them. We've got Alex Court, couple of tenths back with After Dark Sim Racing, Bruce Tannock and Mag Turbo Motorsport, Paul Warwick and Alec McManus with Team 3 Racing, Hayden Norris and Matthew Skoll, the Riot Sim Racing boys in 7th and 8th, Scott Barton with After Dark Sim Racing, and Dylan Thomas and Fishy Motorsports bringing out the top 10. Are you with us there, Dano? Have we lost you?
I certainly am, Cowie. I think I dropped out for just a little bit. Matt Stewart, Harry Dodds, Alan Dawson, Kai Turner. Kai Turner's down in P14 now. He's had a couple of interesting ones. He sort of floats around. He's either at the back or the front, it seems. And
he's marked at some tracks and others he struggles a bit.
Yeah, Nathan Allen as well, P15. So it doesn't look like...
Only
I don't know if Nathan's
tonight. Well, Nathan's out. It's only 14 cars, so Nathan is
Nathan race control? Okay, I thought so. I wasn't sure. It's usually Scotty Rankin or Peter. I'm really
We've
sorry.
actually got a comment on YouTube from Scotty, so we might try and get him into the booth if we can. If he wants to have a chat.
Oh, yeah. Suppose we can get him in for the race start. We got about 5 seconds till we get ready to go
All
here.
yours, buddy. I'll go and have a look, see if I can find Scotty while you tell us all about the start.
Hoping my SDK isn't behind. We're getting ready to go. 5 red lights. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go here for round 8 of the SRW V8 League. Michael Whiting got a horrible start off the line. He's been jumped by so many people. He's now down in P6. Alex McManus got a blinder of the start up into P3. Alex Court dropped down to P4. Bruce Tannock up into P2. It's chaos at the start. And Blake Delaney has gotten away very nice and clean. You can see just behind him is Bruce Tannock, followed by Alex McManus, and Alex Court battling hard just behind him. They're going to try and use that battle to get away as fast as they can. As, that is Bruce Tannock, I think, making a mistake there. And that's Alex Court is going to go through, and Alex McManus on the inside. And you can see Michael Whiting is having a look as well. Alex McManus up the inside at Hamilton, sorry, not Hamilton corner. It's coming up into Hamilton corner. He's made a lovely move up the inside. This is a great drive from Alex McManus, already up into P3 as Blake Delaney starts to get away. And this is going to be a 3-way battle, I think, for P3 if it continues like this, Cowie.
Oh, mate. As usual, the boys put it all on the line at the start there. Great action, just what we want to see. You can see again, yeah, you've only got to be slightly off it, and look at all those guys just tried to swamp Michael there at the start.
Yeah, they all jumped on the opportunity after they saw him bogged down as they come through the little chicane, I suppose we can call it, into Bowhole. Love that corner. It was a bit of an incident there. Alex Court's gone back. Sorry, not Alex Court. Somebody's gone back into the back of Michael Whiting. It looks like it may have been Scotty Barton. There's definitely been some contact there. I'll see if we can get a replay. It was a DSL welding car. It looks like it was Scotty Barton as lap 1 is really starting to heat up. Michael Whiting's lost his rear wing.
That's going to make it rather interesting with Michael here. He's shown pace. Maybe that car will be faster around here without a rear wing.
We'll see the actual replay here. So, yeah, Michael, okay. So he's caught a bit of grass and yeah, Scotty really couldn't do too much.
Yeah, I don't think there was much that could have been done at all. It's just completely different pace level.
And Scotty also had somebody else just right behind him. I think it was, I'm not too sure actually who it was. It was definitely someone. Of course.
That's what happens in these sprint rounds, don't we? You know, the action happens so fast and you can, you know, barely keep up with one and then something else happens, you know. It's action-packed, but that's what we want, buddy. You know?
Yeah. As you can see the front end of Scotty Barton's car. I'm pretty sure that's Scotty Barton, isn't it?
Certainly is, buddy. There's a few little scrapes on that now, and you see a couple of dents in it. I think that iRacing have changed in the last big update, the way it sort of does the repairs and that now too. So you'll see that when these guys do come in to do get a fast repair, it sometimes will still show some cosmetic damage on the car.
Oh, this is going to be tight here through that corner, and it looks like that is a great defensive manoeuvre from Harry Dodds to fend off Scotty Barton as Scotty goes a little bit wide.
Yeah, Harry Dodds with Performance Sim Racing, he's up 3 positions at the moment. Matty Stewart up 4 positions in 7th at the moment. And Alex McManus currently in P3 and he's up 3 positions from the start. So those boys made sure they took advantage of the usual mayhem at the start of one of our races.
I mean, should be. Sorry, what was that, Kai?
Okay, looks like Michael Whiting might also get pinged by race control for an unsafe entry. So race control that all on Michael for that incident there.
Yeah, I can see how that may have been the reason. Interesting little battle we've got here, though.
Oh, look, it's great again. Alan Dawson here. Alan's.
You're right there.
Sorry, yeah, Scotty Barjan has also been penalised by race control as well. So
Interesting.
race control laying down the long arm of the law early on in this sprint race.
Yeah, coming through Hamilton. Harry Dodds chasing down Scotty Barton and Matt Skulls. And Matt Stewart, he's gone off there. The number 4 car, Matty Stewart, he will drop to the back of that pack.
Got a bit deep there, Matty, but it looks good.
That is going to be quite annoying for the...
Go another DSL replay, having a look what happened to Matty. Yeah, he's just tried to carry too much speed through the mid corner there. And look at how many positions that cost him. What, 5? 5 positions?
Something like that. I'm just trying to get my
someone's been spun around at the back there too. Who's that that's gone off? Harry Dodds. Harry Dodds has been tapped. We'll have to look and see what happened here. Or he's...
Well, it doesn't look like a tap, but it looks like that is Scotty Barton again getting involved, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. Harry, that car was a bit out of shape then. I reckon he was probably going around anyway. But, yeah. Plenty of action. The boys are trying hard, trying to make the most of these sprint rounds. That's unfortunate for Harry because that's thrown him right down the order, back down 13th. He was having a great battle up in the top 10 there. But see, that's what I was talking about before. Those sausage curves are pretty big, buddy. And even the V8 Supercars that tend to handle the curves pretty good. I think some of those sausage curves are a bit too much of a mouthful even for these cars.
Yeah, some of them are extremely protruding out of the ground.
Yeah.
So they can really sort of damage the suspension sometimes if you hit them dead on. So we get a nice in-car view. Almost looks like he's got a sunroof on that car.
Yep. So Harry Dodds, race control just announced that it was a racing incident, the contact with Harry. I think unfortunately that car was just, up on 2 wheels and quite out of shape when it all happened. Harry's trying to do his best to get it back going again. And unfortunately, Scotty Barton, found himself in the wrong spot again, I think.
Yeah, it's just, wrong place, wrong time. But Scotty's got the 2nd and 3rd race to make up some positions. And that's the beauty of the super sprint format, Cowie, is, you've got the opportunity to redeem yourself in the coming round. We saw Scott's able to get a pretty good start off the line. So I'm sure he will show us what he can do.
Oh, look, it's always good to get a second and 3rd bite of the cherry. That's what these sprint rounds offer. But yeah, I think Scotty's just been a bit unlucky there. He's got caught up in a couple of things where he didn't really have much of a chance to react to them. So a bit unfortunate, and then his car's hurt, and then that's just puts him further down the order. So I suppose it is racing, but it's bad luck. But hopefully, his luck can change for the next race.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just going to be a recovery drive from this point. There's only so much you can recover in 20 minutes, but we'll watch him give it a go.
Well, look, it's the same, wonder duo up front here, Blake Delaney and Alex Cord racing hard again.
Yeah,
and Blake
as always.
Just for a nice clean run here. He's made it got off the line, made it to the front, kept it clean and stayed clear of all of the stuff happening behind him. And, as the current championship leader, I don't think he could ask for much more than that.
No, you can't really. Blake puts in the performances week in, week out. He's consistent in his racing, and he certainly does the work in the off time. And Alex is just as good. So we'll see these guys battling away at the front of the field. I think Alex McManus currently sitting P3. That's Matt Stewart on your screens now, the Vast Motorsport driver.
Yeah, well, Matty's making a bit of a recovery after running wide there before. So he was, I think, down in 12th, I think, and now he's back up in the top 10. So that car doesn't look good, but I think it was just enough onto the grass, so there doesn't appear to be any scrapes and bangs and dents in that thing. So shouldn't be affected now. All of that grass and crud will be off the tyres by now, so we can get back to pushing hard and try and get himself back up there. But Hayden Norris putting the pressure on behind him.
Yeah, he's right up the back of that Vast Motorsports car. It's a beautiful livery, the red and blue that they've got, but you can just see how much speed he has on the exit and has to slow down because of how Matt is positioning that car. But it looks like he's going to go for it. He's going to pull to the inside. They're going to be side by side coming through turn one. We've seen the outside be so pretty powerful. But it looks like Hayden Norris has gotten that move done and dusted. A beautiful move through turn one as they come into the hairpin. That's a great move to pick up P9.
Yep, just a great exit off the last corner. And as we said before, I mean, that's the key to being fast in these cars. Though we did try to flirt with the grass there a little. Can't have a look back at Dylan Thomas, who's running in 8th at the moment. Dylan is up 2 positions. So he's having a nice clean race, and in front of him, Alan Dawson, up 6 positions. He's managed to stay clear of the mess, and he's watched a few guys ahead of him sort of fall away, and he's having a great run too. The light's catching that car of Dylan's nicely there, as you got that spec map on the iRacing paint there, glinting in the sunlight, quite nice. Look at that. You love those cars where it almost sort of seems that the car changes colour as the sun sort of washes over it.
Yeah, can't wait to see some rain running over these cars, to be honest.
Wow, man. What I was saying there is that the Porsche 992 or 991, the wipers work in it. So we don't know if they were using it as they're using it as a test car or not, and forgot to take it off. But there's been guys already trying to assign wipers in other cars, getting ready for it, and you can't. All right, well, look, we are past halfway in race 1 of our Super Sprint series tonight. 11 minutes down, and we have Blake Delaney leading the way in first position with Fishy Motorsports ahead of Alex Court in After Dark Sim Racing. Alec McManus currently in the...
bit of a lock-up from Dylan Thomas there. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, call it as you see it, buddy. I think that's why we're working pretty well together, man, because, you know, one of us can start to dribble on about stuff and the other one keeps an eye out on the action.
Boys, Shibby, are we able to get the gaps between the drivers or the intervals? All good.
Our race, we've got Shibby behind the scenes once again, bringing these pictures to us. You put on an awesome effort, buddy, and they keep dropping in the deep end, mate. And
sounds like Shibby's got a helper with him tonight.
He's doing good. Just have a look to see if our race, Scotty Rankin has jumped into comms. He said he wanted to have a chat with us. I can't see him there.
Well, I'd love to get him in here. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's actually here though, so can't really do that at the moment.
Captain Norris making a move here. Alan Dawson also in the thick of it. Matty Skulls trying to hold both of these boys off. Oh, car's got a little bit out of shape there. Big lock up from Alan Dawson. He's run. Is that Hayden Norris? He ran Hayden wide, but Hayden's trying to stick it around the outside.
Just keep it around the outside of bomb hole. That is going to be very close. Is he going to be able to get the move?
He's keeping it there. The next corner should be his.
Or it should be the car on the inside. It looks like a little lock up, but no, around the outside. A beautiful move from I think it was Dylan Thomas, wasn't it?
Dylan Thomas hanging onto his position there. Hayden did try to take advantage of it. Well, we got Matty Stewart here trying to get on the action again. And this is the problem, you know, you can fight for that position, and fight hard and everything, but effectively it makes you and the guy you're fighting against slower than the guys behind. And then suddenly, instead of it being a 2-car battle, it's a 3, 4, 5-car battle sometimes. I mean,
it certainly can be. It can be a real interesting battle, especially in the Super Sprint. It can really shape up to be an interesting hour, I suppose, of racing, because you can battle between the front, the back, the middle, all parts of the field, as Matt Stewart seems to find himself.
Now, in the Enduro series, you said tend to see the teams maybe work a bit together, and where the 2 cars end up together on track, they'll work together to try and close the gap on the next car in front. But, you know, this is a super sprint. You don't have time for that. It's, you want to put on a good result for your team, but you've also got to make sure you stay, on the hunt, because if you don't take advantage of that opportunity when it crops up, then you know, you're not going to have a chance to win in this race.
Yeah, it will really like
looking at putting the pressure on Bruce Tannock here.
Yeah, it'll really hinder you if you try and work together here. You really have to go all out attack. Not just at the track specifically, I just mean in a super sprint format, attack is the name of the game, rather than teamwork. You know, obviously don't take out your teammates, basic cool, but it's attack, it's all out attack. Points on the line, and these guys want to get as many as possible.
Well, Paul is piling the pressure on Bruce Tannock here, but Bruce is up to the task at the moment. There's no little puffs of smoke or anything there. Oh, little rub on the exit. And that's actually probably hurt Paul a little bit there. The car got a bit loose in the rear end. But again, you know, these boys are pushing hard. And this is only race one, buddy. We've got 2 more to go. Oh, no! Oh, is that Matty Stewart? Matty Stewart, unfortunately, there was that Dylan Thomas that spun there.
And Michael Whiting looked to have unfortunately gotten involved as well. That is going to shake things up for the next race.
Yeah, I think Dylan might have done that all by himself, just got on the power a bit hard. We're going to have a look at it thanks to DSL Welding here. Yeah, he's just ended up on the outside.
Looks like
he's just got on the gas a bit hard. And
looks like he tried to maximize that exit out of the corner, and it just sort of blew up in his face, I guess.
Oh,
there's a bit of contact between Blake and Alex. That is going to be a definite one for the stewards. The stewards are going to be having words about that one.
I don't know. That's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting to see what they say.
I think Alex had got in front of Blake there at some point. We missed a bit of that action.
It did look like Alex was in front. We'll get the DSL welding action replay. Here we go. So Alex was up the inside, and it looks like he almost just kind of squeezed Blake, and there was not much either driver could do given the downforce of the car, I suppose. So could just be a racing incident.
Well, we'll have to see, because I know that, you know, was it after round 3 they brought in a rule about the car being entitled to racing room when he's up past the rear axle, when his front axle was up past the rear axle. So we'll have to see what race control's got to say there. But again, you know, this is the exciting action we want to see. And now Alex is going to push hard. Bruce Tannock has jumped up into second position as a part of all of that. Alex McManus up in first. Remember, was it round 2, the super sprint, race number 3? Alex was leading the way and had a spin on turn 2, and they got Was that at Silverstone? I can't remember. I think it might have been.
Do not remember, to be honest.
But yeah, so we'll have to see. He's only got 2.5 minutes left to stay up front, so this might be Alex's maiden win in season 1 2022 here at SRW.
Have the standings done their little glitch thing, or is that just my end?
Looks like it's up at the moment. Alex McManus has got a 3.2 second lead ahead of Bruce Tannock. Looks like Blake Delaney has redressed and let Alex back through after that contact.
Yeah.
So Blake's just looked after it on track.
Well, they are attacking Mr. Tannock. This is an all-out attack. They are fighting for these points, and people fighting those points is really Blake and Alex. They're going really, really hard out for these points as they come through the final corner.
As we said, the thing about Bruce Tannock, buddy, he's one of those guys that's been on the drift circuit in New Zealand for a long time as a veteran, so I'm sure he knows how to hold these guys behind him, so to see he's got the pace to do it.
Well, he knows how to make the car wide on the circuit, so I'm sure he'll be doing that and making sure that these guys can't get past him. As Blake Delaney goes to the grass just a touch, as they are getting so close through Wilson corner there. As Blake is on the inside, Alex has to pull along to the middle to try and block him off. This is incredible, because the more that these two battle behind, the more that these guys are going to drop back from Bruce in front. So
yeah, and Alex McManus out front is just extending his lead by a couple more tenths. And we're into the last minute, so if they guys haven't been given the white flag already, it'll be a white flag next lap, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last lap. The amount of times we've got it wrong at Dano and not realise it was the last lap, so we might call this one as it is. We'll make sure we jump on board Alex before he crosses the line, but this battle back here is enthralling.
Well, Alex is going to be holding that position in front of Blake. Blake is now on the straight. Here we go. Is he going to pull to the inside? Alex is going to have to defend very, very hard, as he does indeed. Blake trying to maximize the speed he can take through the corner. You can see how wide of a line it was, as it looks like Alex has made that car 3 cars wide once again as they come through bomb hole. It does not look like Blake is going to be able to take that 3rd position back, and these guys will push on. And unless Blake goes for it up the inside, it doesn't look like it's usually worked, as Alex is able to defend.
And that's Alex McManus says, Alex McManus says, gone across the line. It was the last lap. Checkered flag. So there's Alex McManus's maiden win in our current season SRW here, 2022. So that's a great result for Alex.
An awesome win. He's been looking on the cards for one, I think, for a while now, and I think it's very much so deserved from Alex. He's been putting in some consistent performances, and that is a well-deserved win from the number 3 car.
Bruce Taylor hanging on to 2nd place there with Mag and Turbo Motorsports, so that's a great effort from Bruce. Alex Court bringing the 3rd position out on the podium. Him and Blake Delaney having a great battle, a little getting together there, but those boys sorted it out on track themselves. Blake redressed, gave it back to Alex, and then tried to have a crack again. So that's great to see. And as we had Paul Warwick, a pretty good recovery. I think Paul got involved a little bit at the start of that race, but he's kept it clean to finish in the top 5. Matty Scholes, Hayden Norris, Alan Dawson back in 8th. Alan, I think, got caught up in something there because he was running a bit higher there for a bit too. But again, was that 9th is Michael Whiting with Fishy Motorsports, Matty Stewart in 10th.
I think it was, an interesting leaderboard we've had. We're going to go straight into race number 2 here at Snetterton. Lining up on the front of the grid is Alex McManus, thanks to that win in the last race, as we were just talking about just before. Great stuff from him. And Bruce Tanak back up into the front row, where we've seen him a couple of times before.
Well, I think Alex will be chuffed with him. Alex McManus, I should say. He'll be chuffed with himself because I think he was still a bit dirty with himself for spinning back in, the round 2 earlier in the season. He thought he had a win there that was his for the taking. And but he's done it now. That's a great effort. So we'll see now that little bit of pressure's off his shoulder. He might just, be a gun out of the gate as the lights come up. We're getting ready to start here. The 5 lights are on and they are off. That's a great start from Bruce Tanek. He's got a little bit of a jump there on Alex. Is it enough for him to sneak around the outside? Alex McManus just positioning the car, but he's got a good spot. Look at Blake Delaney flying up the back.
They were side by side, so they both weren't able to take the optimum line through the corner. Blake Delaney right up the inside of Bruce Tanak. There may have been a bit of contact there. A big lockup for Bruce Tanak, and it looks like Paul Warwick's looking to maybe steal some spoils. Michael Scholes, Hayden Norris is involved as well, as Blake is up into P2. He's really attacking Alex McManus. He's right onto it. He does not want to get stuck behind him.
I think he might have opened. He might have opened the door there a little bit on Bruce, but, as we said before, with that racing incident with Alex Court in race 1, if you get up past that wheel, then you're entitled to that racing room. So I think, Bruce made sure he gave him just enough room, but Blake was good enough to get it done, buddy.
Yeah, down at P10 is, Michael Whiting. Looks like Alex Court has had a shocker off the line too there, buddy. He's back in 8th. So that's 5 positions. Alex I'm trying to work out who we're watching now. It's Hayden Norris as Michael Whiting's in front of him. My SDK is not working for me at all. I think that's an internet issue, not sure why, but Michael Whiting is climbing up the field. Is that Matty Scholes that went a bit wild there? Well, no, it wasn't Matty Scholes. Who was that? Might have been Michael Whiting that went a bit wide there. But he's managed to hang on to his position. I think is that Michael in the right?
machine?
It's Michael in the dark.
That's Matty Skulls. Sorry, it is Matty Skulls. Right machine.
Yeah, dark blue Fisher Motorsports car is Michael Whiting. As the boys come across the line.
As usual, mate, it's all on. Race number 2. The boys are pushing hard right from the get-go.
Yep, no, doesn't look like anyone's had too large of an incident yet, so they're all still very close together, as that is a car in front having a little bit of a journey onto the grass. There's a bit of contact.
Inside there.
That's Michael Whiting, a bit of contact with one of the V8 Supercars, and there's a big one. There's a big crash behind. There was a lot of contact, and it looked like there was contact between teammates.
Oh no, that's all 3 right sim cars. I think Bruce Tannick with Mag and Turbo Motorsports, he's separated that for the team championship. We're going to have a look to see what happened here.
So it was Matty Skulls, it looks like, who was...
Okay, the ball works got off. Maybe started all of that. So yeah, Michael Whiting's tried to force his way up the inside. And is that Hayden Norris, Matty Skulls and Bruce Tannick have all got tangled up. You know, the 3 right cars were getting tangled up in that mess.
Bruce Tannick looks like he got away. It looks like Bruce sort of got away from that.
No, so they both got tapped there, and I think that's Scotty Bargen that got called got caught up in that as well, but he got clear. But yeah.
Is my SDK just that slow?
I don't think that it, those right sim boys there were looking for that kind of publicity and look at their sponsors, but as we said, it is racing. Harry Dodd's one of the beneficiaries. He's up 4 positions in the top 10 in 9th at the moment, Harry. So he's already put last race behind him and can get back on it. Scotty Barnes, 3 spots up ahead in 8th as well. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I don't even know what's wrong with my system. I think it's my PC at the moment, because my SDK was fine at the start of the season and it's just gotten progressively worse. So I'm not too sure what's been going on.
We'll have to try and sort something out for you, buddy. We can't have those sort of issues. We're here to call the action, man. Got to be able to see all of it.
I think I'm a lap behind, because
looks like Alan Thorsten had an off there before too as well, so he's come back on track. So I don't know where that's slotted Alan in. Yeah, that's dropped him down to 13. So something big happened to Alan Dawson there.
I'm thinking I'm going to close mine.
Blake Delaney making a move on Alex McManus here. Both of the boys.
Alex leaving just enough room.
Oh, and he's done well, but Blake's not given up, and he's. I don't think if you can fit much of a width of a sheet of paper in between these 2 cars at the moment, buddy. Pushing hard. We're getting a good look at the Team 3 racing machine up in front. And I'm sure that's exactly where Alex wants to try and keep it. But Blake is putting all manner of pressure on him here. Try and get up on the inside of the chicane. I don't really think that's a place where you want to try and go through too wide.
No, it's certainly not. Too wide through there. It usually ends in a bit of tears as they come through bomb hole. Alex is doing an awesome job of defending, as that was very close for Blake there, getting a little bit sideways.
Got it on rails, buddy. He's got it on rails. It's on the edge. But as we said, that's what we said before, buddy. If you don't... Oh, Alex has got real big loose there. That's going to lose all his momentum.
Yeah, he's going to be on the outside as well, Blake Delaney. This is going to be very easy pickings, I think, as we've seen how powerful around the outside is through turn 1, as he late brakes as well, and he's able to keep that car in a beautiful position to take first position round the outside at turn 1, as it looks like the boys behind have also caught up. That is the Fishy Motorsports car of, I think that's Dylan Thomas, isn't it?
Paul Warwick.
Oh, Paul Warwick. My apologies.
All right.
As Michael Whiting's behind him. I've just turned off my SDK, Cowie, so you're going to be the one to be giving us all of the driver names.
All right, buddy. Well, we've got is that Alex in a fishy sandwich at the moment?
Yeah, he certainly is.
He's salmon, or would you call it flathead? No, just a bunch of piranhas on the sides of those cars.
Surrounded by fish.
Oh, the piranhas. It's a feeding frenzy of the piranhas, mate. That's what it is.
It certainly is. The number 3 is of Alex McManus is getting fed upon by Paul Warwick and Michael Whiting, and just in tow behind is a right sim racing car. Couldn't tell you who it was. Kelly.
It is Hayden Norris running currently in 5th position there, so he's up a couple of positions. Michael Whiting's been the big gainer so far in this race. He's running in 4th, up 5 positions from his start. Looks like Alex Court is fighting his way back too. Alex was back in like 10th or 8th. I think it was 8th or 9th after the start, had a shocker. He's now fought his way back to 7th. But look at this, you know, again, Blake Delaney's not getting away from Alex here. Alex is, now the gap's only 0.3, so Alex definitely staying right in the toe of Blake Delaney in front, and he's got 1 win under the belt. As I said to you, buddy, he's not ready to give up. Maybe the shackles have been unleashed from Alex here. He's got his wins, and now he can push hard for another one.
Yeah, he certainly can. Alex, I think, deserves to be on the podium tonight in the feature race, but we'll see what this man, Alex Court, has anything to say about it. He is attacking Matt Stewart, the number 4 car of Vash Simsport. Alex Court, you can see those rear brakes getting nice and hot, getting nice and orange through Wilson Corner, or Wilson Hairpin, I suppose. Alex is really pushing. You can see he's pushing the track limits as well.
Oh, as we've said before, it's a sprint, and he knows that Blake Delaney's out in front. He's got a 180-point lead in the championship, so, and we're running out of rounds for Alex to, you know, get back up there and take the fight to him in the championship. So I'd say we might see Alex, you know, really put the hammer down now, and maybe stick the elbows out, or hope that the guys in front of him don't stick theirs out too much.
Yeah, you know, we've seen, you know, the points in the Super Sprint are, I think, halved. So it's a 75-point gain for first place. So all the points are worth just a little bit less. But, you know, it all adds up. And if Blake is going to be finishing up in 1st and 2nd tonight, then he's going to be extending that gap away from Alex Court. So Alex does have a little bit of work to do to catch up.
Looks like Bruce Tannock has, he's the one received a stop-and-go penalty for that incident involving all the Riot Sim boys there. So that, you know, Bruce has had a pretty good run in the more recent rounds, and so that's going to make it a bit hard for his championship aspirations. Just having a look here at Alex Court, putting the pressure on Stewart. He's got to run on the inside here, and yeah,
just go up the inside this time, and yeah.
I don't think that he fought too hard initially, because he knows that if he gets a better exit, it's back on here.
Yeah, he brakes very, very early. I think he's trying to get the better exit as well. You can see the sharper sort of line through the corner. Scotty Barton getting his nose in there. And that is now Matt Stewart in a bit of an after-dark sim racing sandwich. So this could end up very interesting, as Alex McManus,
got his nose picked
up front, is still on Blake Delaney, as Paul Warwick and Michael Whiting are just sitting behind. So we could definitely see Alex go for a move soon.
Well, Blake's not getting away. You know, Alex McManus, look at that. Getting right under him through the fast corners. It's on the back second half of the lap at the moment. Come around, and again, you know, you can just see the way the guys are trying to position the cars, use that weight transfer, try and sort of hold the line through the corner. And again, as we said, it's all about the exit. So if you can be close enough and maybe force your opponent up in front to take a bit more defensive line on the entry, then maybe you can set him up for the pass on the next straight. And that's what Alex has got in mind here, I'm sure.
Yeah, Alex is certainly going to be wanting to take I think a last-minute opportunity. But, you know, we've seen this corner specifically, he gets very, very close. And he's maybe gone a little bit wide there. He may have possibly ruined his chances here.
And Paul Warwick putting the pressure on Alex behind there.
Yeah, he's going to be right on the back of him. He's going to pull to the inside and now to the outside. He breaks early, and I think...
Yeah, well, Alex went a bit defensive there. And again, Paul's just got out of it. He's looking to try and make the run up into turn 2. But, oh, and who's that? That's Hayden Norris going for a big send. Michael Whiting on the outside there. I think Michael might be able to hold that position for the next turn. The boys are having a red-hot go here. Hayden's not giving up. bump drafting by the looks of it there, as the boys are pushing in real hard. And this is a great battle. This is not mid-pack, guys. This is the top
Alex
five.
is to the wheel there.
And they're on the track.
What's happened? The stream's frozen.
Well, it looks like car 44, Alex Cord, has been given a drive-through penalty for not holding his brakes. So that's going to make it really difficult for Alex as far as his championship aspirations, especially with Blake Tibbs running out front there. So, again, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, when you're pushing hard and your main rival is running out front, then you've got to start taking a few risks. So, looks like Alex has you know, got himself into a bit of trouble there. But we're sticking with this battle. As we said here, Hayden Norris is that white and black car up in front. This is the battle for the top five, and you can barely separate them. This is great action. Are you back with us, Dano? Looks like we might have lost Dano. He's having some internet issues at the moment. So just, if you can hear me, buddy, just give us a shout out when you can, and as soon as you come on the comms, I can shut up, let you know, let everyone know you're back with us.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, we got you, buddy.
Oh, that was a long dropout. I don't know how a wired connection manages to drop out, but it happened, so... Sorry about that.
Happened today for a few of the boys getting involved in the race for Dano, a charity race that was supposed to be the Phillip Island 1000 today, and unfortunately internet issues from quite a few people just meant that the event couldn't go ahead, so they postponed it for a couple of weeks, so we'll see when that one's going to fire back up. But we're looking at a nice battle here between... Yeah, nice battle going on here between Harry Dodds and Dylan Thomas. Dylan trying to put the pressure on Harry. Both of these guys have got pace. So. Yeah, both these guys have pace, but we've also seen that this track has put up some good action. I think there's plenty of opportunities for passing. There's plenty of opportunities for you to, you know, make your car as wide as possible and really keep the guy behind you. And we're seeing some smart moves here where guys are forcing people to go defensive and then taking, you know, a better exit and really concentrating on that exit out of the corner and getting it done on the straight. So, you know, again, great action. Dylan's still trying hard here, but Harry's put the car in the right spot once again.
A little bit of a lock up there from Dylan Thomas. Inside front left was the tyre that locked up.
Well, I think we're seeing that the toe is actually having a bit of a significant advantage here too, buddy, because it seems that once two cars get close together, they're able to stay close together, and the same is happening up the front. You know, that's why we've seen 5 cars all within the 2 seconds, because they're each in the draft of each other, and that's giving them just enough of a break in the air to stay on the back, and it's not giving Blake the opportunity to run away with this race like he would be dearly hoping he could.
Yeah, I think this is a track that Alex has been putting in some incredible practice for, and nobody's been able to actually battle with Alex, so he's been able to stay with Blake, and that has formed a nice little battle. You can see Paul Warwick has dropped back with Michael Whiting and a Riot. Who's that Riot Sim Sport?
Hayden Norris there.
Hayden Norris is behind as well.
Doing well to stay with these boys too. He's just waiting to see if the dominoes might fall and he can find himself on the podium. Though we've only got about 4.5 minutes left, so he's running out of time to step up, you know, make up to that top step, or at least the 3rd step from the top, get on the podium. But again, you know, we've seen these boys driving. Oh, is that Michael Whiting has got on the grass there?
It is.
It looks like a great save. He's kept it out of the wall, but that has cost him pit position, and that's just what the doctor ordered for Hayden Norris. He was there. Take advantage of that.
And Matt Stewart's going to be able to capitalise on that. We'll get an action replay here.
Oh, so yeah,
a little loose. He saved that incredibly.
That's snap oversteer. That snap oversteer, when he first got it loose and he caught it, then there was a snap oversteer, and it was the snap oversteer that put him out on the grass. You know, that's the thing that normally puts you into the wall. So he did awesome
overcorrection usually, but he corrected that incredibly well. So a good recover.
a good, well, I think it's a great advertisement for the quality of the drivers that we got here that save something like that. I know I'd be proud of that. It'd be up on my YouTube channel for sure, buddy. A save like that.
I've got a couple of good saves that I've got. I think it was at Le Mans, just at the exit of the Porsche curves. I got the Porsche RSR on the grass, and it just sort of like slid sideways along the grass, and I managed to hold on to it, keep the car straight, and then I was able to take home third spot somehow. So
yeah, look, that's what it's all about. I mean, the thing is, even with these machines, you make the mistakes that you can make. They don't have to be big mistakes, minor mistakes. We've seen, how quickly things can change in a heartbeat, especially when it comes to these super sprint races. But, look, we are inside the last 3 minutes of this race, perhaps 2 laps to go. And, again, it's less than half a second separating P1 and 2, and then it's only a second back to third position. But it looks like Paul Warwick is now getting onto the back of Alex there, so he's going to be into the draft as well. So,
yeah, that draft is going to start to come into play very shortly. It won't be long now until it comes into play, but will there be enough time for Paul Warwick to make a move and for Blake Delaney to pull away? We will have to wait and see. But Alex is going to want to get a second win for the night, and I'm sure he might be able to do so if he can just push a little bit further into attacking Mr. Delaney as he gets very, very close through the exit of the final corner. You can see the draft is just not enough to get in front as Blake Delaney is sort of weaving just a little bit left and right as Alex has to tuck in behind him.
He's just trying to throw Blake off there, maybe force Blake to go a bit defensive so he could get a run on him, but Blake was up to that. He wasn't mirror watching at all in that corner. But look, guys, if you're liking the action, don't forget to give us a subscribe and give us a like. Jump on and subscribe if you want to see all the great action that we've got here in SRW TV. Don't forget, we've got our Enduro Series, our DSL Welding V8 Supercar Enduro Series, the 3-round series. That's kicking off in April. Jump on simracingworld.com.au for details and come and join us in this great series, and let's get as many cars out there as we can.
Yeah, we want to see a 30-car grid.
40,
that
50. Come on.
Oh.
Don't put such a low ceiling on it. We want all the best guys joining us and having a red hot crack, buddy.
There's 50 cars on track. My PC will explode, Gowie. I don't think I can load so many all at once, but it should be an awesome couple of weeks. That 6-hour endurance is going to provide a load of action for everyone.
Michael Wading has got back past Hayden Norris there, so we might try and have a look at that in, not yet, Shibby might have a look at that in the interval if we can, because we will have a 10-minute interval at the end of this race. We are now just clocked over the end of race time, so this should be the last lap. And you can see Paul Warwick making a play here for second.
Yeah,
Alex McManus trying to stay
just a little bit as they come through the final corner. Once again, Blake Delaney will come home and he will start 10th in the feature race. Alex McManus P2, Paul Warwick P3, and Michael Whiting P4. Vast Motorsport is come home in P6, and Hayden Norris for Riot Sim Sport comes home in P5. So an overall very good race from the boys out there. Alex McManus is putting in an absolutely stellar drive this evening.
Yep, Harry Dodds with a great drive up into 8th there, so that's a great drive from my future teammate. Scotty Bargen finished, Matty Scholes in 9th and Scotty Bargen in 10th, so they'll be the two guys on the front row for the reverse grid race number 3. But yeah, I think Blake's pretty chuffed with himself there by the looks of that, sending the car a little bit. So maybe if we can, Shibby, can we go back and have a look at that move of Michael Whiting on, who was that on was it, I'm not sure who, we were talking about it before. It was on Hayden, yeah, it was on Hayden. If we can we go back that far, Shibby? Anyway, we'll bring up the results of round 2 while Shibby tries to organise that for us. So yes, we do have Delaney.
So
and Blake Delaney finishing in first position for race number 2 there with Fishy Motorsports. 0.6 of a second back to Alex McManus, Team 3 Racing. Alex with a win in the first race and a second in race number 2, so he's having a great night. Paul Warwick, I think 5th in the first race, so he's jumped up onto the bottom step of the podium with a great drive. Again, within a second of Blake Delaney, so that's how close it was at the front there. Michael Whiting and Hayden Norris having their own great battle there for the last few laps. Of the Fishy Motorsports machine and Riot Sim Racing, Hayden Norris there. That was a great battle, boys, and we appreciate it. Matty Stewart with Vast Motorsport in 6th. Dylan Thomas in 7th, another one of the Fishy guys. Harry Dodds with a great drive. Performance Sim Racing, I think Harry is up 4 or 5 positions there, so that's a great effort from him. Matty Scholes with a great recovery there after that incident involving all 3 of the Riot painted sim racing cars. We've got Alex Cord in 11th position. Alex got a drive-through penalty in that race for not holding his brakes, so that's a decent recovery to just outside the top 10, and he was only a second off that position too. But that may well hurt his championship. We'll have to see how he goes. Alan Dawson. Alan's had a great round, as I said, found himself in 3rd in the championship. So I don't know if Alan would be too happy with his results tonight. Again, getting involved in that incident on turn 1. But Bruce Tannick in 3rd position. Again, Bruce got a drive-through penalty there for that incident. And Kai Turner, looks like Kai Turner missed most of that race. So I think I don't know if he had any connection issues. I don't know if we saw Kai racing in that race. Yeah. So, but yes, so it's been plenty of action, Dano. We're now in the nice little lull. Give the guys a chance to go and do a toilet break and get some drinks and have a bit of warm up. Maybe make a setup change or 2.
I think we're going to run
what we might do, guys,
for our sponsors and for our endurance race that we endurance series, that we promoted earlier in the stream. We've got that coming up, and we've got a nice little advert that we're going to play right now.
Take her away, Shibby. it's SRW TV. We're back with you guys. Thanks to Dragonrc, their DSL Welding Services, the Promo Department, all our great sponsors. As you can see, there was a great advert there for our upcoming Enduro series. We certainly hope you guys get in and jump on board. It's going to be great action, and it's going to be a great little sort of series within a series, I would say. So we're looking forward to it here at SRW, and we hope you guys are too. Hopefully, Dano, you're back with us as well, buddy, and your comms are coming through clearly. We need your voice to call all of the action that's about to happen before us. Reverse grid top 10 for race number 3. It's going to throw the cat amongst a pigeon once again, buddy, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. We've got a bunch of those boys that run at the top of the field at the back, and we've got a couple of those boys that run at the front So it's going to be certainly an interesting fight through the field for those boys starting down the back of the top 10, and a push from the start from the boys at the top. I think Alex caught starting a little bit further up than he usually does in the feature race, and we'll see how he tackles this one. I'm sure he's going to want to get off the line quickly and get away.
That's it, man. Well, look, we've seen some good pace from the mid-pack guys tonight, and they're now up front. I think this track's shown that it's not the easiest place to get around. You can set it up, but it's almost like you've got to, get the car in front of you to sort of play the game with you. If you move up the inside and show you might go for a little gap there and they go defensive, sometimes that's exactly what you want, because it's all about the exit, not the entry. So a few of the boys playing some interesting mind games out there on track, and, it's giving us some great action, mate.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, I think that's also a bit of racing respect, I think, is working together, I suppose, on track. And by working together, I mean just making sure that you're not making contact with each other, you're leaving each other adequate racing room, all that kind of stuff. I think it's very important that everyone is doing that on the racetrack, and they all do it, so it's good to see.
Now, before we grid up for the final race, I do have some sad news to let everyone with SRW involved, but unfortunately, Greg Johnson has lost his father. So just on behalf of the SRW crew, admin, and all the drivers out there, we want to pass on our condolences and our best wishes to Greg and his family through this troubling time, mate. Certainly feel for you, buddy, and it's horrible, and we just wish you guys all the best.
Thank you for that, Cowie. We hope to see you on track at some point, Greg, and but take your time. We know how it feels to lose a loved one.
It's horrible, mate. It's horrible. So... we build close connections with our family and our friends, and things like that. Just remind us of ourselves, of people that we've lost. It's horrible. But Greg, I'm sure that you and your family will stay strong, and we wish you all the best, buddy. All right, the cars are jumping on the grid for race number 3. Scotty Barshin and Matty Scholes, 1 and 2. So those boys have been having some good battles through the season, so we'll see how that goes. Harry Dodd's up in 3rd position with Dylan Thomas. Those two boys were racing hard in race number 2 there as well. The cars are revving up, so we're about to go, so I can't call any more. And they're off and racing. That's an awesome start from Harry Dodds. Has got up the inside with a great launch.
He's up the inside of Alex Court, who looks to have started...
Dylan Thomas, was that? Is that Dylan Thomas? No, it wasn't Dylan, sorry. That was Hayden Norris, who got a little tap there on Scotty, and that slowed him right up. So he's lost a couple of positions there.
I'm trying to work out who is where. Alex McManus is still sitting behind Blake Delaney, but they've got Michael Whiting and Paul Warwick in front. Alex McManus, that blue and white car, of course, as we've seen all night, as there's a Fishy Motorsports train sort of popping up now.
There's a few of them there. Oh, who's that? That's Hayden Norris that's gone around, is it? Matthew
Scholes, I think.
Oh, he's been tapped in the rear there by is that Michael Whiting, so race control might have something to say there. We'll have to see what the ruling is on that one. Alex Court trying to move up the inside of Paul Warwick here. Alex got out of shape on the grass, but he's done well to hang on to that.
He does keep it out the wall.
Alex just asking race control to have a look at that one. That's another car that's gone off in the back there. Who was that? Is that Alan? Bruce Tannick has gone off in the back there, so we'll have to try and have a look at that when we can. Plenty of action going on, and we're still on lap 1 here. Alright, so that was, whose fuss was that? Oh, here we go. Now we're having a look at it here. There we go. So Alec McManus putting on the pressure here.
Looks like,
yeah, it looks like he just went wide. That was Dylan Thomas. When Dylan went wide, we haven't seen what happened to Bruce there. Oh, here we go.
Well, this is...
And now we're going to have a look and see what happened to Bruce. So he's got a tyre on the grass there, and that's unsettled, and
that's a big,
the wall, and that hurts.
A big shunt with the wall. Quite annoying for Bruce there. He was having a good race, and it seems that maybe his momentum was maybe faltered in that incident that he had in the last race, where the three of them spun, and maybe his confidence was a little bit.
So Michael Whiting is going to get a drive-through penalty too for that tap there that spun. Was it Matty Scholes that got spun then? Yeah, it was Matty Scholes that got spun. So that's going to be a penalty for Michael Whiting, who's had some good pace tonight. Oh,
yeah, Michael
on the inside.
There is a bit of argy-bargy going on.
That was a great save by Hayden, how he caught that snap oversteer there. That's great, but it's now put him in the firing line. He's got his teammate Blake Delaney moving up the inside.
That's Matt Stewart, who's let them through, but getting very close behind. Alex McManus is wanting to catch up as quick as possible, as he was right at the back of Blake Delaney in the last couple of races. So he knows he's got the pace, as Matt Stewart has to now defend from the rest of the Fishy Motorsports.
And what's happened up the front? So something's happened to Harry Dodds up the front as well.
And we're not too sure, Cowie. We'll have to get a replay and see what's going on there. Michael Whiting's looking to have a look here.
Looks like Paul Warwick has also been black flagged as well. So here we go. So Harry's just gone in hot. He's done well to hang on to that, but that's 5-6 positions, and unfortunately for Harry, just a little too hot through there, and that's put him back.
Oh, a little bit of contact there. That's Michael Whiting again, and he gets a little loose on the exit. I think that's Hayden Norris behind him, and Matt Stewart is having a look at it. Please confirm with me, Kelly, that is the right car.
Yeah, it's Hayden Norris there. Yes, that's right, buddy.
Yeah, he's having a look. As Matt Stewart goes up the inside, he's looking to get a position on Hayden Norris. Michael Whiting's trying to fight away these guys out in front, as it looks like he's doing. And there was a car off in front. That was Scotty Barton who was off, and that is going to move everyone up a position. And Scott Barton, who does actually have quite a bit of pace, is going to have to succumb to his own errors, unfortunately, as the boys take those positions quite nicely.
It's sort of one of those things, we wouldn't mind having a look what happened to him, but there's so much action going on. It's like you watch one thing and you miss three. These boys are sending it at the moment. It's great to see.
Yeah, it's awesome action going out on track. We've got so much going on. Just watching now, this is Alex Court having a look up the inside, as he's looking to make a couple of moves on the cars in front.
Yeah, Alan Dawson here in 10th position at the moment. Alan's struggled a bit here tonight at Snetterton, maybe not one of his favourite tracks, I'd say. And Alex is looking to try and move around in the mirror there and set him up for the inside line here. Alex has shown he can brake pretty deep here. Looks like he's done well to get that done, but again, Alan's not ready to give it up.
No, he's certainly
Alex
not.
Just moving inside there to block that pass, yeah. So Alex using his racecraft knowledge there just to make sure that Alan didn't have a chance to have a run back at him there. But unfortunately, he's got 2 right sim guys behind him that he might have to worry about, so we better forget about that and get on with it. We move back up near the front. Hayden Norris running in second at the moment. Having a great run. He's showed some good pace here tonight, Hayden. He's been amongst the action all night. Keep talking about him, so I think that he might be a candidate for our driver of the day, I think, buddy. But we'll have to see if he can hold it together and stay on the podium.
Yeah, we certainly will. He's going to have to push just a little bit harder. He's got some very fast drivers behind him, so he's got to stay within the draft of the car in front, and he's going to drive it away.
Well, Blake Delaney's... Okay, we're going to have a look at what happened to Scotty Barton there. He was running up in P3, I think, at the time when that happened. So, again, thanks to DSL Welding Services for their replay here. And yeah, again, just how he's locked it front right there. Yeah.
It seems a lot of these guys are going very deep into this specific corner. It doesn't look like they've got enough car control, or they're just not getting.
Look, it's
right down. It's a faster corner than they're anticipating.
I think, as I've said to you before, Dano, one of the things about these cars and racing is you look up, you're driving and you go, hang on, was that my brake marker? And by the time you realise that, you're already going, oh, it's too late. So sometimes you're pushing that hard that you maybe mix up where you normally brake, and it only takes a tiny little mistake, mate, and it has big ramifications on track.
Yeah, it's certainly done, as we see Matty Stewart going through Wilson Hairpin.
Yeah, P3 for Matty, so that's a good recovery.
Nice, just drive.
Yeah, managed to keep it clean and find himself on the bottom step of the podium. I'm sure he's not going to let Hayden get too far away here. He wants to try and put on as much of a show as he can. Dylan Thomas up in 4th position. Dylan's had a pretty interesting night too, at a great race 1, and got involved in a practice in race number 2. But again, this is the great thing about these sprint races. You get that 2nd and 3rd bite of the cherry, buddy, and maybe 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf says.
Yes, it's certainly not. And there's Scotty Barton and Alex McManus having a little tussle behind him. Alex is wanting to get in front of him as quick as he can and push just a little bit. I think he could probably get up into P4. He's just got to find just that little bit of pace and get in front of the DSL Welding sponsored After Dark Sim Racing car.
Look, it's been on all night, buddy. The boys are pushing super hard and racing hard. Again, we've seen a few incidents tonight, but there's not any malice in any of them. It's just the boys, trying hard, and as they stay in racing circles, when in doubt, send it. And the boys are, having a go. It's all on the line. Yeah, that's it.
Getting very close. There was a couple of cars. Not sure who it was. They were getting very, very close. As Scott Barton is putting the battle down.
For 3rd, 4th, and 5th here at the moment. So Dylan Thomas, or 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, I think. Oh, it's a little bit loose there from Scotty Bars, and trying to get on the gas early there.
Alex McManus has dropped down a position. Oh no, sorry, he hasn't. My mistake. I'm getting the cars confused.
Well, that's all right. The boys are pushing it, but this is a great battle going on here. Neither of these guys have given up. There's something happened to Harry Dodds again, because he's dropped down another couple of positions, so I missed what happened to Harry there. So, Alex Court just trying to make his way back. He's up 4 positions at the moment, but it's Blake Delaney running out in first, up 9 positions, and now has a 1.8 second lead over Matty Stewart. So again, just looking to extend his lead in the championship, and making it hard work for Alex Court with only a couple of rounds to go, buddy.
Yeah, it's going to be a big task for Alex Court to get back up. But I think he can do it. He's got to put in the practice. He's got to put in the hard yards. I definitely think Alex can do it, can get back up and get
not
those
to put
points.
Not to put the commentator's curse on Blake Delaney, but I'm sure Alex is maybe hoping that he maybe has an incident or 3 in the next few rounds to give himself a chance.
Yeah, but again, he's got to gain so many points that any form of mistake that Blake makes, he will be celebrating.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe a position or two, but those points are so crucial and so important. It can be the deciding factor in the championship.
Well, that's right, but but we're seeing here, again, this reverse grid, it always brings action. It's great to see these guys up front battling with our usual sort of heavyweights, and it really shows that a track like Snetterton, the 300 layout we're on tonight, so I think it's only about 3 or 4 Ks. I did have those notes, 4.7 Ks this layout, almost 3 miles, but it just seems to be great action, and we love watching overtakes, and anytime you start to throw the grid around and put the cat amongst the pigeons, these boys get the opportunity to show their talents and show us that they're not just a front runner, but they can make the moves as well. Dance the dance, buddy.
It's one of those tracks that as soon as things start to sort of heat up and get going, the race is just ending, and that's the nature of these super sprint races as well, is because of the fact that it's 20 minutes. It feels like it's going to be a lot longer, but you hit that 20-minute mark, you go, oh, the race is over.
It feels like this race only just started a couple of minutes ago, buddy, but we're actually inside, the last 7 minutes of the race. So, again, better stay on top of the action as it happens, mate, otherwise we'll miss it.
Yeah, it's very much so a blink and you'll miss it format, just with action-packed we are. And as I said before, when we were first starting the stream, this is a small track for these cars. It's not a very wide, a track accustomed to a supercar, so we will have to wait and see.
Seems to be more a track where you've got to actually set up your move. You
Yeah.
can't just make a send, because the guy can, break a bit earlier, let you go deep, and then, crisscross back on the exit. You can see here that was that Scotty Bargen making Alex Court making a move on Alex McManus there, but Alex McManus was trying to set it back up to get that run off, but Alex Court got a really good run, was able to hold that position. So the two After Dark sim racing cars running together now. We'll see if they've got enough time to work together and maybe move them both up a couple more positions. But I think Matty Stewart is closing right in on Blake Delaney at the moment. The gap is now only 0.2 of a second. And you can see, Matty eager there. His car stepped out a little bit on him, but he can see the W flashing before his eyes. He's not going to let this opportunity lapse. So perhaps Alex Court back there is hoping that Matty sends it a little bit harder than he should. But I think Matty's just showing great pace, and he's keen to showcase his skills tonight. He's got the perfect opportunity now.
Yeah, he certainly does. That opportunity is a golden one. We'll see some boys, I think, on the podium that we don't usually get to see, and that is something that we love to see here on SLW. We love seeing some of the underdogs come out on top, as it spices up the championship as well when we haven't got Blake or Alex or Bruce or Michael up the front three. But
it's always good to hear some new voices as well, buddy, and we want to get to know all these drivers, not just the same three, so any chance that they've got an opportunity to get the limelight. And at SRW TV we're not biased. Like I've been signed up in a team. I'm trying not to talk about those boys all the time. We've got several other guys that are part of their teams and are jumping on doing commentary in our various different leagues that we've got going on. And again, for us, it's all about the racing. We want to see good hard racing, and
Was that a bit of team orders that I just saw there? It looks like Alex Court has got in front of Scotty Barton, and
it's smart.
It looks like Alex is going to try and push away from Alex McManus, with Scotty Barton maybe holding him up just a little bit.
Well, the championship's on the line, as we've talked about it, buddy, and those boys are working for the team championship as well. Actually haven't looked to see where the team championships at stands at the moment. I might try and have a quick look while you call the action, buddy.
I'll give it a good go. I'm not sure how I'll do with names, but we've got the Riot Sim Sport and for Performance Sim Racing cars. As I think that's Hayden Norris going through, and
Matty
that's
Scholes.
a nice.
Matty Scholes just making a move on.
Nice
yeah.
Easy move.
Harry went a little deep there, I think. So yeah, just went a little deep. unfortunately. But again, as we've said before, you know, look, if you're not pushing in this car, then you're not going to be anywhere near the front. These boys are that quick. We do have a second series. We've got our Super 2 series. They boys drive the same cars, but it's our development series. So, you know, that's where the likes of me would end up driving with those boys there, because these guys, all the guys that are in our top split Super 1, you know, have all got pace and are showing that cut, you know, above us average sim racers, buddy.
Yeah, I think, well, Matt Stewart's really starting to take it to Blake Delaney now. As you can see, he's right on the back of him. That draft is starting to help. As we can see, it looks like that is that Dylan Thomas and Matty Scholes, or is that Paul Warwick?
Blake Delaney and Matty Stewart there, and we've got Hayden Norris and Dylan Thomas behind. Looks like Dylan might have just made a move on Hayden.
I thought Hayden was making a move on Dylan. I thought the Fisher Motorsports guy was in front, but I'm not too sure. Matt Stewart is hunting for his first win. He's so close. I think he can taste it as he comes into Hamilton. Sorry,
4.5 minutes to go, buddy, so we'll probably have one more lap after this one.
Then into Hamilton.
Just looking at the team championships, the Fishy Motorsport 1 team, I'd say that's is that Blake and perhaps Michael Whiting. I'd have to check there, but those boys have a commanding lead of about 500 or 600 points, I think, so it's going to be hard for the Fishy boys to get taken off the top notch. We've got the Riot Sim Racing 2 versus Riot Sim Racing 1. That's pretty close, only about 100 and almost 200 points, I think, separating those boys. And After Dark Sim Racing in 4th at the moment. Performance Sim Racing running in 5th. That's the team championships. Dylan Thomas here making it, trying to have a... Oh, that's a tap on...
Oh, Alex McManus as well, having to stop up very quickly. That was very close. That was a bit of a mistake from the two in front of Alex. And
well, Alex did well to recover that too, because he got stepped out a little bit then, but has done well.
Alex has gotten in front of Scotty Barton, and now he can attack on this final lap, I believe. He can then attack who's in front of him.
I think that's a post-race penalty that has just been handed out by race control to... I didn't hear what car it was handed to. Might have been 927, I don't know. I won't make a comment because I didn't hear it fully, but there's a post-race penalty that's going to get handed out for an incident there. Alan Dawson has made it up into the top 10. I get the feeling that Alan is not a huge fan of this track. He struggled a little bit tonight, but running 3rd in the championship at the moment, so he'd be after any points he can salvage from tonight, and perhaps that'll keep him up there. We'll have to see how it all pans out after the race results go through, buddy.
Yeah, we certainly will. It's going to be a bit of a mix-up, I think, once we get to the end here. Alex McManus is getting right up the back there of the Performance Sim Racing car.
Well, this is the last lap, buddy, so it's all on the line.
Motorsports? No.
Dylan Thomas in front of Alex McManus here.
Oh, sorry, it is a Fisher Motorsports car. My apologies, everyone.
The boys pushing hard. This is the closest battle on track at the moment. Blake Delaney has now opened it out to 8/10 ahead of Matty Stewart, so it looks like Blake's going to do enough to win race number 3 and take out the round results again and extend his championship lead. But again, you can just see that the boys are pushing super hard, and you know, the race is almost at its end, but it's all on the line. Trying to take a tight line, carry speed here through Alex. It's all going to be about the exit.
It certainly will be. It looks like he got a pretty good one. It's going to be a sprint to the line. It's going to be very close. It doesn't look like Alex is going to be able to get in front.
No,
right to the end.
Dylan's done enough. So that's it. That's a great finish from those boys. But out front, Blake Delaney, supreme drive once again to take the bull by the horns and again be our overall round winner for tonight. Matty Stewart with a great run there, 2nd position, and really taking it to Blake. So it was great to see. You know, Matty. I think he enjoyed the track tonight, buddy.
Yeah, I think a lot of those boys did, but it wasn't, you know, a dominant win by Blake Delaney. So it looks like a lot of those boys have actually caught up.
Yeah, you have to work for it tonight.
Yeah, he really did have to work for it tonight. There was a lot to play for out on track, and he really had to keep it going. Matt Stewart took it to him. Alex McManus as well. A couple of the other boys as well took it to him. So it was certainly an interesting one.
Yeah, unfortunately, my future teammate Harry Dodds, he was having a great start. He got a belter of a start up the line, and just looks like he got just again, trying to drive hard, and it's just that fraction of a meter that you go too deep, and suddenly you're locking up, or you're running too deep, and that's all it takes. And when you've got 3 or 4 hungry piranhas behind you. Oh, there's a send.
Wow. Someone's having a bit of fun there. Who finished P3?
All right, so let's bring it up. Once I can see, I've got the SDK logo showing up in front of everything. There we go. So our race 3 winner, Blake Delaney with Fishy Motorsports, finishing 7/10 ahead of Matty Stewart with Vast Motorsport. A great result from Matty. Hayden Norris with Riot Sim Racing bringing up 3rd position on the grid. So, 3rd position for this race. So that's a great result from Hayden Norris. Alex Court, after a horror start, has done great to get up into 4th position and minimise that damage in the championship battle there with Blake. Dylan Thomas with a great drive up into 5th. Alec McManus had a great night tonight. Alex, a P1, a P2, and then a P6. Just struggling to try and get past those boys there. It was just a great battle, mate.
I think we give it to Alex McManus for his first win. What do you think, Harry?
I think you're right there, buddy. We'll definitely be bringing him in. Scott Bargen in 7th position, Matty Scholes in 8th, Alan Dawson in 9th, and Harry Dodds in 10th position. Paul Warwick, Bruce Tannick, and Michael Whiting bringing up the end. Michael copying a drive-through penalty there that I think Paul Warwick copped one as well. So that put those boys down the back. But another great night of racing, mate. So if you want to go and sort out and get those boys in, I'll keep rambling on and thank our sponsors, DSL Welding Services, as usual. It's awesome to have you boys on board. The promo department, again, didn't get to see a safety car tonight, boys, but, we love having you guys on board, and hope to continue the relationship with you. And Dragonrc, we're getting your adverts up there, boys, so I hope that's working well for you guys. And again, we thank all of our sponsors for getting involved in our Sim Racing World Series.
Yeah, we certainly do. So I've got Alex McManus, Blake Delaney, and Matt Stewart ready for us at the moment. I don't know where Hayden Norris is, but we'll bring Blake and Matt in as they were having a nice little battle at the front. Blake, Matt, good race tonight in the feature race. Blake, you really had to work for it tonight. Matty had some solid pace.
Yeah, good fun. The guys were real fast tonight. Matty and
Alex
McManus.
Yeah, they were certainly right in your bumper there for a while, buddy. You got to the front in race number 2, but you just couldn't get clear. And we thought you made the jump there in race number 3, and it looked like it might have been clear sailing. But Matty Stewart had other ideas. Matty, how do you rate your race, buddy?
Yeah, well, I didn't really do much practice on this track, to be honest, and I didn't really expect much coming into tonight. But yeah, I'm happy with my result, and yeah, P2, man, I'm pretty stoked with that.
Yeah, it's an incredible pace, Matty. That was absolutely incredible, your drive tonight. P2, is that your first podium in this season?
Oh, I couldn't tell you, possibly.
How'd you find it out on track tonight?
Yeah, definitely have to work pretty hard at this track. I haven't really spent much time here, so it was pretty challenging.
Like your results tonight, that's probably going to extend your lead in the championship over Alex. So you must be pretty chuffed with it yourself, buddy. Managed to get to the front and stay clear of all the mess happening behind you.
Yeah, yep. There was some pretty good passes. Pretty happy with a few of those, but at the same time, the guys left some good room, which was good to see. I thought race control were all over it tonight as well, which was really good. And some of the side-by-side racing, I don't know what it looked like on the broadcast, but I would have thought it'd be pretty good.
That was awesome.
4 or 5 cars coming out of the corner onto the back straight, and everyone's all over the joint. That was pretty good. 3 wide, 4 wide at some stages.
Well, I think in race 2 it finished with the top 5 within 2 seconds of each other at the end of the race, mate. So
Yeah, wow.
I don't know if we would say that Snetterton would put up such a great racing spectacle, buddy, but it seems to be one of those tracks that that was just bunching it up, and it seemed to me that you were almost sort of had to try and force the mistake of the car in front to be able to get the run on.
Yeah, look, Scotty Bargin unfortunately went off turn 2 or turn 3, I think it was, and Harry Dodds as well, unfortunately. Just sent it long in 2 corners and sort of ruined their race up the front, unfortunately for them. But yeah, I think Matty and the 2 Alexes did really well. Whiting was unlucky a couple of times. He was quick, but it was a good race all round. Lots of fun. It always is on a Sunday night in SRW.
Oh, awesome, mate. All right, Blake, well, let's give you a chance first to give you a shout-out to your sponsors, and then we'll have another chat to you, Matty, and you can have the chance to as well, buddy. Take it away, Blake.
Thanks, mate. Look, first of all, thanks to the Fishy Boys, and I should say everyone that raced tonight was tremendous racing with everyone, not just the Fishy fellas, but guys right across the grid. It was unreal racing. West End Motor Group, which is Parramatta Peugeot Professional, Parramatta City Great Wall and Haval, West End Mazda Parramatta, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, Reflex Game Fishing, DC Shades, Black Wolf Graphics, and the gentleman that always puts together tremendous setups, although I don't think we could drive them that well tonight, but they were absolutely on point, is Precision Sim Training with JT. So hit him up if you want some driver training. I know there's a couple of guys here, or at least one here, that loves to hit up JT, and he's an absolute superstar.
That's awesome, mate. Thanks, and congratulations, Kane, on your round win and extending that lead in the championship.
Cheers, mate.
Now, Matty, you've again, you've had some up and down rounds this year, but you've shown pace, buddy. So you must be pretty happy that if you said you didn't get much practice here, but you were on it right from the word go, man, right amongst it.
Yeah, like I just try and keep consistent. I'm not the quickest out there, but just trying to avoiding the incidents, and just keeping it tidy. And it seems to bring me up near the, top 10 most races. So that's pretty good. Pretty happy with that.
It's certainly a great effort from you. So give you a chance to shout out for your sponsors, and I might try and grab Alec McManus while we do that. But take it away, buddy.
Yeah, just like to thank Vast Motorsport and obviously Vast Consulting and Aussie Auto, and a big thanks to everyone involved in SRW as well, and another thanks to the drivers tonight. I think it was pretty clean racing for quite a tight track at times. Cheers.
Mate, it's great to see you up there on the podium. So only one more step to go, buddy. We thought you had him there for a while. You were certainly pushing him hard. Did you think you could force an error anywhere out there? Was there a particular corner you were trying to maximise to get a run on him?
Oh, he had the pace out onto the straight, so I was trying to put my nose in there, but I just didn't want to risk it and take us both out, and especially on the last lap,
Oh, that's good, mate. Well, we certainly appreciated all the action that you gave us tonight, mate. So well done. Now I'm going to grab
Alex. We've got
grabbing Alec McManus.
double Alex's.
Double Alex. Well, firstly,
Alex
we're going to give Alex.
Sorry, Alex Cook came third due to Hayden Norris post-race penalty.
Ah, okay. So well done, Alex Court there. Well, let's have a chat with you then, Alex. Bit of wheel spin on the line. Was it race 2, mate? That cost you?
2 and race 3.
Yeah.
So
You did well to recover in race 3 to get back up to P4. There was plenty of action going on out there, buddy. It didn't look like the easiest place to pass.
it was horrible. To tell you the truth, I'm very grateful that it's over. To tell you the truth, so it's been a bit of a difficult week. I haven't had the practice that I've wanted to. I had a short trip to hospital Thursday night, so I actually ended up missing the Porsches on Thursday night, and still suffering with a little bit of pain tonight. So
well, it was good to see you back out on track.
Yeah, it shows even more that driving with pain, mate. So you had a decent air, so it was a little bit like a Van Gisbergen collarbone drive, was it?
Pretty much,
for you, anyway, mate. Yeah.
Got a little bit of swelling on the ribs, so.
Oh. can't be comfortable, buddy.
That's not much fun, but got a championship to fight for, so
Exactly right.
it's the
Yeah,
thing
well,
to
he's
do.
pulled a couple more points out on you, buddy. So, we've got a couple of rounds to go. So, is it starting to get desperate? You're going to have to send it a bit more?
Oh, I don't know. I've just got to play it smart, I think. So, I'm not 100% sure on the difference between second and third. I'm hoping I've still got third place at the moment.
Well, buddy, you did all you could tonight to, at least get the points that you did out of it, mate. So we'll give you a chance to throw out your sponsors, and then we might have a chat to our driver of the day, Alex McManus. But take it away first, Alex Claude.
Obviously, DSL Welding and Racing with Autism. Thanks to those guys for sponsoring me. Then we've got Corp IT, Dragonrc, Above and Below Stump Grinding, Tree Minded, Mod Tint, ABC Transport, AA Designs, DSL Welding, and Racing with Autism Australia. As always, shout out to Gary Bradshaw in New Zealand and all the boys at After Dark. Also want to give a shout out to Ben Longman in Queensland. He's one of my teammates racing with autism, and he's just recently recovered from Hodgkin's lymphoma. So awesome stuff, buddy. Super proud of you, and keep fighting, man. Hopefully meet you one day soon.
That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. Great shout out. I know that I was involved with the races for Dano on the weekend. Also, another guy that's fighting Hodgkin's lymphoma. So, but unfortunately, that got postponed because of some internet issues from a few of the boys, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, spewing to miss that one. So, hopefully, we'll be doing that again in a couple of weeks. Hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope so. But again, anytime we can highlight, we know that cancer's a bastard, and it takes way too many people out there. So, anything 100%. We can do to help these guys out and shine a light and maybe give them a pick me up. It's all about positive thinking, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks very much for that, Alex.
No, and just quickly, also obviously a shout out to Damo as well, if he is well enough to be watching. Hopefully you pull through this, man. I don't know you personally, but thoughts and prayers are with you.
That's awesome, buddy. All right, Alec McManus. Now, you were elected our driver of the day for a big day, man. I'm going to let Dano have the first question because he's the one that said to bring you in here, mate.
There we go.
Alex, first win. How does it feel, mate?
Very first swing, and it's a bloody long time coming as well. No, it feels good. It does. It was kind of a gimme there after Blake and Alex up the front there got tangled, and I don't know. I saw Blake pulling off, looking to redress, and then I went straight through. Luckily, it was only 2 laps to go because I don't know how well I would have been able to hold those guys behind me because they were coming up pretty quickly. My tyres were falling off very quick as well. So no, it feels real good. Been at it for a few seasons now, and to get that win finally, tick the box.
I was going to say, mate, it must feel like there's a bit of a monkey off your back because was it round 2, the Super Sprint at Silverstone, you were leading and then spun into turn 2 and then that hurt you.
Yeah.
But even tonight, you won race 1 and then race 2, you were right on it. You were pushing hard for Blake. He certainly didn't have it his own way tonight. So you felt a lot more that weight off your shoulders and made it really have a go in race 2?
100%, yeah. After that race 1, the short time between race 1 and race 2, I didn't really have a time to think, so I was just in race mode come race 2 once again, and I just went straight at it from the line, and it was a great battle with Blake there. I was trying to hold him, but he was just too quick once again. To finally get that win in race 1 definitely feels like a massive relief. I think, after the Silverstone incident earlier in the season, that was the one that got away. I think I was, got a little bit, probably the nerves got me a little bit leading up the front there, and I spun around. But anyway, tonight's I've came back and happy to take the win.
That's it, buddy. Where you could take a chance of these opportunities, and as you said, you maybe handed it to those boys back at Silverstone, but they, managed to get out of your way tonight, mate. So you were, Johnny on the spot to take advantage of that, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was yeah, it was definitely a challenge up the front there with these guys, Blake and Alex. They're always challenging up the front there, and they feel like they're in a league of their own. But yeah, anyway, it's been great. It's been a long time coming. But yeah, finally to get that win, I'm stoked.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations, buddy. Now's your chance to give a shout out to your sponsors. So take it away, buddy, and let's hear from them.
Too easy, so I don't have too many, but so Scorpio.com and Solus.com. I just want to give a shout out to both my partner, my parents, and basically my family that watch in every Sunday. Yep, day in, day out, they come and watch me. So shout out to them for always jumping on the stream and giving me a watch every Sunday. So thanks. This one's for you guys. But yeah, thanks for that one, guys.
Mate, it was a great result. I mean, we've seen you in and amongst the action, and for most of these rounds, you've certainly been in the thick of it. You enjoying racing against these boys? I mean, it's been pretty close. I know there's been incidents and stuff like that, but as far as we can see, mate, it's just all just hard racing.
Yeah, really enjoying the racing actually this season. It's been really close, especially in the midfield. Yeah, I think the boys up the front have kind of got away from us. But in the midfield, definitely the battles between basically 3rd to 10th is just we're so close, and yeah, every Sunday night it just feels it's a shuffle between us, kind of us to 2nd or 3rd to about 10. So no, it's been great, and yeah, really enjoying this season.
That's why you look forward to those reverse race grids, buddy. You know, throws you up there, and they can be behind you for a while.
Exactly. Yep. You get the reverse grid, and yeah, off you go.
That's it. It's a great effort tonight, buddy. Well done. Our driver of the day. So with a P1 in race 1, his first win. P2 in race 2, and I think you were P6 in race 3. So great result there, buddy. Alrighty, Dano. I think that brings us to the end of our broadcast for tonight, Dano. Do you want to take it out? Do you want me to take it out, buddy?
Oh, I sure can. It's been an interesting evening tonight, I think. A lot of a first win, some good podiums from some boys that aren't usually on the podium. So thank you everyone at home for joining us tonight here on SRW TV for round 8 of our SRW V8 Supercars Super 1 series. One last, again, massive shout out to our sponsors, DSL Welding, Dragonrc, and Promo Department for all of the work that they do behind the scenes and sponsoring the streams. And, of course, a big thank you to you guys at home for tuning in tonight. If you guys want to get involved with us here on here in the SRW League, we do have that 6-hour endurance coming just up very shortly, just after our season finishes. So if you guys want to get involved with that, join our Discord. All the links are in there. If you guys want to get involved, we would love to see you. And if you've enjoyed the broadcast, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channels and share us around. We want to get
just
as many
before
people
you close it out,
well.
buddy, one final shout out to Greg Johnson and his family. Sorry to hear about the loss of your father, buddy. We wish you all the best. And yeah, best wishes for you and your family. Sorry, Dano. Wrap it out, buddy.
Yes, I want to reiterate that as well from Cowie. So a big thoughts of wits to you, Greg, and we hope to see you back soon. But that will be all from us here on SRW TV. So from all of us here at SRW as well, good night, and we hope to see you Tuesday for Formula 3 at Zandvoort. It should be a good one. Cheers, guys.
See you guys.